refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
Welcome back to CTC. I'm your gracious host, Carl, and I'm back with another episode. And today we got two championship games to talk about. We got the CBC, which is going on in about 10 to 15 minutes, and we got the NIT tonight as well. Quick record update because I see it didn't update here. So currently, I gotta pull it up on my phone. We went 4-0 yesterday. Unfortunately, we went 4-0 yesterday because I wanted one loss to happen, but it didn't. Like, I didn't expect it to. I didn't expect it to be a 30-point blowout, but I didn't expect Michigan to lose. We are currently 121-70. We are currently 43-23 in the tournament, 18-12 in the NIT, so that didn't change, and 5-1 in the CBC. Our lone loss in the CBC being Rutgers losing to Creighton. So we can either be 6-1 in the CBC after today, or 5-2, which I'm fine with. Definitely fine with that. And then in the NIT, we could either be 19-12 or 18-13. Again, super fine with that. Had a better year last year, but hey, it is what it is. So let's jump into the CBC championship game. Shout out to you, Robert Vlachua. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, but shout out to you for tuning in. Hopefully, like, comment, share, subscribe, just like everybody else that is here. Now, for the CBC championship game, we have Oklahoma taking on West Virginia. This would have been a Big 12 matchup a couple years ago, but this is now the SEC versus the Big 12. As y'all know, Oklahoma moved into the SEC about 2 years ago, not even about 2 years ago. So shout out to them. Shout out to both of these schools for making the championship. A familiar face in the championship. Honor for West Virginia was in the NIT championship last year and won it. But Oklahoma, right? They are 3.5-point favorites in this game. They coming off of a win against both Colorado in the first round, which was the quarterfinals, and Baylor, which was yesterday in the semifinals. They are 3.5-point favorites. West Virginia, they are coming off a win against. They beat Creighton in the semifinals. In the first round, they beat, which was the quarterfinals, they beat Stanford again off the fouling up 3. So both teams in the championship games, that was their road. Oklahoma, led by Nigel Pack. Nigel Pack is averaging 16.6 points per game. Xavier Brown averaging 15.5 points per game and 1.3 steals, who definitely had a great turnaround from Colorado to the Baylor game for sure. And Tate Davis averaging 12.9 points per game, 5.6 rebounds per game. Another guy who was familiar with winning the championship, winning the NIT with Seton Hall. Their X factor to me is going to be Darion Reed, who's averaging 11 points per game in the CBC. He added 17 versus Baylor. Didn't really have that great of a game against Colorado. Was in foul trouble. Actually fouled out of the Colorado game. So I think he'll be big against West Virginia. And I see your question. I'll answer in a minute. West Virginia, led by Honor of, averaging 15.9 points per game, 1 steal. Brendan Lorian averaging 9.8 points per game, 5.2 rebounds, and 1.3 blocks. And Chance Moore averaging 10.3 points per game, 5.7 rebounds per game. The X factor to me is going to be the X factor has been for a while. Well, in these 2 games at least. Trayson Eaglestaff. Trayson Eaglestaff in this CBC is averaging 17 points per game, shooting 54.5% from the three-point line. So I think he's going to be big to help counteract this Oklahoma's offense. But my winner, I'm taking Oklahoma. Again, Oklahoma is the hottest team in this tournament. They were one of the hottest teams in the country. They were one of the first teams out of the NCAA tournament. That's how hot they were. They worked themselves into being one of the first teams out of the NCAA tournament. Oklahoma only lost one game since the start of March. I believe even the last two games of February they won. So they've only lost one game in quite some time. And that one loss, again, was against Arkansas, who won the SEC tournament. So I got Oklahoma, man. They finished the season hot. They had their little struggle against Colorado because they were off for like a month. But the way they handled Baylor after Baylor made that comeback to start the second half showed me why Oklahoma has been so hot. So I'm taking Oklahoma over West Virginia. And not for nothing, again, West Virginia to end the year with blowing games. So if the game is close down the stretch, I trust Oklahoma more in that situation than I trust West Virginia. So I'm taking Oklahoma in the CBC championship game. Now, you ask, what is my favorite football team? So I say this all the time. I have two. I went to Michigan State University, so I'm obviously a Michigan State fan. Graduated, and I was supposed to go to graduate school at South Carolina, but I mean, I grew up a South Carolina fan, so I also like South Carolina University as well. So there's your answer. But gotta move on to another I did have it up. Gotta move on to another championship game tonight, the NIT championship game, which features Tulsa. Tulsa, one of the more explosive offenses that was in this tournament, taking on Auburn, another offense that was super explosive in this tournament. Now, Tulsa started off rocky. Stephen F. Austin went to overtime, beat them. Then they I know they beat Stephen F. Austin. They beat UNLV. They kind of handled them. Then they beat Wichita State, which they almost blew that game. And then in the semifinal, they beat New Mexico. While Auburn's road, they beat South Alabama, went down super early, came back, won by double digits. Then they beat Seattle, which they was up that entire game, but ended up winning by single digits. Then they beat Nevada. And then in the semis, they beat Illinois State, who was, to me, the surprise of the Final Four of the NIT. So that's both roads to get here. Auburn's a 6.5-point favorite. It literally went up today. It was at 5.5 earlier. This game is 8 o'clock on ESPN2, so right around after the CBC. But, hey, trust me, it's a lot of stuff going on today you can watch prior to this game. I mean, you got Sunday Night Baseball featuring my Tigers. You got UFL football that comes on in about 30 minutes. So it's a lot of stuff to keep you entertained. But Tulsa, they're led by David Green, averaging 15.7 points per game, 4.6 rebounds. Tylen Riley, averaging 14.8 points per game, 3.9 rebounds, and 4.4 assists. And Miles Barnstable, he's averaging 14.7 points per game, 3.8 rebounds per game. Now, their X factor to me, the X factor of the tournament, man, Ade Papula. Papula is averaging 14.5 points per game, shooting 51.7% from the three-point line for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane in the NIT tournament. So definitely a huge X factor for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. Big reason why this offense has been going crazy. Now, Auburn, they are led by Keyshawn Hall, 19.5 points per game, 6.9 rebounds. Tahad Pettiford, 15.2 points per game, 3.7 assists, and 1.1 steals. And Kevin Overton, averaging 13.8 points per game and 1.1 steal per game. Now, their X factor is the same as last game to me. It's going to be Philippe Jovic. He's averaging 11.3 points per game, 5.5 rebounds in this NIT in the absence of Keyshawn Murphy. So I think, again, he's going to be key. Trying to get on the, I think he'll be a little bit more reliant on getting on the boards, maybe getting some points in the paint, trying to help this Auburn offense a little bit more. But my winner, I'm going with the Auburn Tigers, man. The Auburn Tigers kind of rubbed me the wrong way, the way they started the tournament, but it seems like Auburn is now getting in that groove. And I have seen Tulsa give up runs and not be so hot defensively at times, and I think Auburn could take advantage of that, especially with the three-point shooting of Tahad Pettiford. Keyshawn Hall can knock down the three. Kevin Overton, his three-point shooting. It can get dangerous. I can see this game getting dangerous for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. But I do think Tulsa has an offense good enough to stay in this game. So I am a little nervous for Auburn, but I am picking Auburn to win this game to show, hey, we took this challenge and we showed y'all why we were. Hey, we showed y'all why we had a case to make the NCAA tournament. Now, do I think Auburn had a case? Absolutely not. I don't think they should have made it. But this NIT win, championship win, if they do win, could help vindicate them a little bit. So I am taking Coach Stephen Pearl and the Auburn Tigers to win this ball game. And with that being said, those are the two championship games for y'all. I did forget this comment. My bad, bro. I wouldn't call what happened to Arizona yesterday a choke. I don't know if a lot of people thought Arizona was going to win that game or not, to be honest. Nor was Arizona the favorite. They actually were the underdogs, but I wouldn't call it a choke. They just got beat. Michigan is a really good team. This is Joe asked me this question last Monday, I think, on the R2L show, because Jalen Rose said if Michigan wins, this would be the best team in Michigan history, and I agree. Like, even if they lose tomorrow, which please, if they lose tomorrow, I still think this might be the best team. Now, of course, somebody's gonna say, "Well, they won the championship in 1989." I don't know if that team is better than this team that they currently have constructed, to be completely honest. But yeah, that's just that. But anyway, please like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already. It helps the channel, helps the network. Speaking of the network, we have multiple shows on the network. We have the main show, which I just talked about, featuring Joe, Tomo, and Dave every Monday and Thursday between 7 and 8:30. So make sure you check that out. We have Unfazed, which they went live last Tuesday. That's featuring Joe and AJ. Just be on the lookout for them. There's no set dates there. We have BWT, Baseball with Teddy. Again, my Tigers play on Sunday Night Baseball tonight at 7 o'clock. We're starting with an opener because our starter, Justin Verlander, has been scratched. So there's that. But we're playing the Cardinals. We already won the series against the Cardinals, so we're going for the sweep. Hopefully we get it done. And if like I said earlier, man, if I got to come on here and curse y'all out without cursing to get y'all to play well, I'll do it every time, man. Put up 4 runs game 1 against the Cardinals, put up 11 runs game 2 against the Cardinals. So hopefully we could get the job done, get the sweep here, and get back above 500. And I think we play the Twins starting on Monday. But be on the lookout for BWT. Next, we have FFC, Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs. Obviously, fantasy football season is over. Football season is not over. UFL. Again, you got the UFL coming on about 30 minutes. But be on the lookout because the draft is less than 3 weeks away. It's actually in 18 days. So be on the lookout for whatever content he drops. Speaking of the draft, because this has something to do with this show, we will be having a mock draft for the first round on, I believe, the 22nd, featuring me, AJ, and my boy Kev, who's a part of the R2L community. He doesn't have a show or anything, but he definitely is a part of the community. He's been on the main show a couple times. He's always a part of the Eagles content beyond AJ's Birds. Hasn't made an appearance there yet, but definitely a big member in the community. Shout out my boy Kev. And then we will have the 4th annual first round draft show featuring, so far, me and Kev. Up to 3 slots remaining. I think Teddy said he's a maybe. Tomo has been on before. I don't know if he's joining, but yeah, just be on the lookout for stuff like that. Next, we have RBO, Real Ballers Only. Shout out my Pistons. Number 1 seed in the East, man. One of the best regular seasons I've ever seen. So it is the best regular season that I've seen. Now, keyword regular season. The best regular season I've seen as a Pistons fan. Number 1 overall seed in the East, over 55 wins, could be 60. We got 4 games left. We have 57 wins. We could probably hit that 60 mark. But shout out to them. But that's an NBA show featuring Vaughn, who's a Magic fan, so be on the lookout for that. Play-in is next week, so playoffs around the corner. Next, we have Dave's Doghouse, highlights and lowlights of sport. Next, we have In the Red Corner, boxing show for all your boxing needs. Make sure you check out In the Red Corner. That's featuring Ty, Ricky, and Tomo. They go live every Sunday. They go live on Sundays, not every Sunday, but when they do go live, it is on Sundays around 6:30. And last but not least, we have AJ's Birds, Eagles content featuring AJ, and we have Zero Sports Talk with Griffey. AJ's actually is the live show. Griffey's show is pre-recorded, so make sure you just check that out whenever you see it. But that's all the shows we have on the network, so please like, comment, share, subscribe to those shows as well. And if you like what you're listening to, stick with us. I will be back tomorrow. So far, I don't have any guests tomorrow, but that may change. I'll be back tomorrow for the national championship game preview. Got to talk to Joe, Tomo, and Dave. I got to talk to them about scheduling the time because the national championship at 8:50. I might just go live at 8:30. Shouldn't be on there that long. But anyway, that's why I didn't talk about the national championship game today because I'm talking about it tomorrow night. Want to do it the same night. So be on the lookout for that. But I'm gone by to catch the CBC. Until tomorrow. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.